What's up, everybody? It's Make It Make Sense, and this video was just supposed to be Kandi Burruss under attack, but it has gone deep. So like the video's intro plays because we got a lot to discuss and we don't have a lot of time.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense. That's all. 1 and 1 got to equal 2.
Make it make sense. Hey, I love that. Make it make sense.
Make it make sense, boo.
Big moves.
Surfer.
Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense.
Hey, I see you done made your way back over here on my page, looking and lurking. Yes, I know it's exhausting. She's still doing the same thing. She's still all that.
Still all that. Welcome, lurkers and all. Okay, guys. So before I start, we are super close to 50,000 subscribers. I promised my straight shooter members that I would be giving away one of these ridiculously expensive toothbrushes to one of you guys. Well, that's still happening. I'm buying it today. I might even upgrade it because there's one newer. I don't know, but if you want to join the membership, definitely it's a good time to join. The link is in the description of every video, but let's get right into it. And subscribe if you're not subscribed. We are super close to having 50,000 straight shooters. Unbelievable. There has been a lot going on with Kandi Burruss. And we're actually going to start with Nene and we're going to end with Marlo. Nene was probably the easiest and less deep to kind of like unravel. But we all know Kandi started season 2. And from that point on, there was never a Nene Kandi scene. But the way that Nene responded to Kandi makes sense to me now.
This appears to be just a little bit ghetto to me. A little bit ghetto, a little bit hood.
I don't think that Nene liked Kandi because Kandi was actually a celebrity. And up until that point, none of the women were actual celebrities. They were turning into reality stars, but technically they were just well-to-do kind of ladies, a mistress, a former NFL player's wife, Nene, a socialite. But Kandi came in and she was actually a celebrity and she actually had money. She came in with a built-in fan base, and I don't think that Nene liked it to the point where you ended up getting this. There is something to be said about Nene starting this show and actually considering it her show. I would say for at least the first 4 or 5 seasons, it was the Nene show. But there was something underlying always as it pertained to Kandi. And I think it was because Kandi was already a celebrity who had her own. Whereas Nene's calling her ghetto, but you're getting evicted on the first season because your home wasn't technically your home and you had worked out some alleged business arrangement without actually telling them that you had done that to film for this show, and you got evicted. And then allegedly, Lisa Wu had to put your next rental property in her name. That's pretty ghetto. Hood rich mentality. Moving on. Since then, there has been a whole array of people who do not like Kandi Burruss and consistently try to take her down. We don't even need to get into Phaedra and Porsha. We all know how that ended. Another failed attempt to try to really destroy this woman's reputation. Again, I'm not quite understanding the reasoning behind it. It's not necessarily making sense to me. You got Tamar, who I thought they were friends, or at least they were friends in the background. They had a lot of mutual friends. Now Tamar's alleging that Todd was trying to beat her up and all kinds of crazy stuff. But when Vince was out of the picture, how you felt about her was a little different.
How amazing of a person and a woman Kandi is.
Oh, Lord, the times have changed.
I know.
She said that.
Won't he do it? I'm telling you, if you let him use you, and you definitely are, because not only, like you were saying, like when people are successful in their own right, it definitely sometimes comes with an attitude or a disposition or the feeling of entitlement, right? And not only, were you able to pick a group of women who really don't give a damn about that, but you don't walk around like that yourself. You know what I mean? You don't walk around acting superior to everybody.
Jason Lee, let that sink in. Jason Lee definitely doesn't like Kandi. I will link my 2 videos about Jason Lee and Marlo at the end of this video, so we won't really go deep there, but he does not like her either. Moving on to Marlo. Marlo is a wild card in this situation. A lot of people think, oh, she's just doing this for the show. No. After this deep dive, I really do think that Marlo does not like Kandi for real, and it's just seeping through on the show. But what is weird is, again, Kandi advocated for Marlo multiple times.
Always ask me, do I feel like you should have a peach?
Give it a peach, Jesus Christ.
I definitely always have felt like you should have a peach, because what I think people do not understand and do not know is that your personal life story, which we were talking about a little bit before we started filming, like the stuff going on with your family, your mom, you with your nephews and your other family members or whatever. It's like a whole story that people haven't even had a chance to see. And I'm like, people have been seeing you all these years and they don't even really know that there's so much more to know about you.
So Marlo had gone to Kandi when her and Nene fell out. I have a strong feeling that when Nene fell out with Marlo, Nene is the reason that Marlo really didn't film after that, at least for the next few years till Nene was gone. I think maybe Kenya brought her back at some point, but Kandi advocated for you, similarly to how she advocated for Porsha when Porsha had attacked Kenya on the reunion stage. It gets really weird, guys. It gets super, super weird. I'm trying to see how her wheels are turning, and it doesn't necessarily add up to me until I saw this.
That you want to do.
Why do y'all always seem to ask so much of me that y'all don't give to me? This argument is bullshit to me. Why do they feel that they are owed so much from me? I don't get it. My point is... How you give one a foster child? Don't start going back to your childhood on me.
Going to, sweetie, because you was raised with better friend. You was raised with family.
So just in that little clip, it's very deep. Marlo feels in situations where she sees somebody who had a family or who is well-to-do that they owe her. It's super, super weird. Consistently, that's the running theme from Marlo. She doesn't necessarily have to behave well because of her foster background. And also people who do have money and who were raised around family should behave better than her. It's weird because Marlo is, I think, near 50, but it's that love language of gift receiving that I feel really is the driving force for how Marlo treats people. Guys, I told you this one was going to go a little bit deep.
She dated old white man.
Literally, that's the only thing I've ever
I dated one older white man,
Yeah.
who took care of me amazing. Was an amazing provider.
Yeah.
I mean, homes paid for, my mother's homes paid for, taught me about credit like my grandmother.
I know the whole spiel. He bought you a townhouse, bought your mom a house. What we don't hear her say is, he loved me, right? Marlo has consistently used the billionaire as her central storyline. The billionaire put her on. The billionaire, gave her this. The billionaire taught her how to fix her credit. The billionaire. She even has that hover around thing on her stairs allegedly for him to get upstairs. But we don't hear her say, I was in love with him or he loved me. That's a lot, because what you present to the audience and the world is you were in this relationship, but were you in a relationship if it was purely monetary? Y'all can answer that in the comments, but I told you, that's why I feel like the Kandi hate is real, and we're going to go even deeper, but we're going to juxtapose that to Nene.
I disagree.
Oh, you don't think Marlo deserves a peach?
I disagree.
Why?
Well, the reason I disagree is because if you've been doing something for so long, I don't see the network giving you a peach. I just don't. I'm just speaking from my eyes and the way I view the network and the way television work. You have given them everything, for this amount of pay. Why do they need to give you a peach? For what? What? I mean, what's going to change? They get everything they need right now. What are they going to get when they give you a peach? All they're going to get is a photo with you holding a peach. What is actually going to change? Do you know anything that's going to change? I mean, that's a real question.
I mean, maybe we'll see who she's dating. Maybe we'll see more of that personal stuff, family stuff with her family that we haven't seen. I don't know.
If they wanted to see it, they could see it now. And she was showing it. And they know that. They actually have shown it. They shown you her personal stuff. She has her 2 nephews, and they showed you with her 2 nephews. That's it.
So do you think that what gives you so much power and clout with
a picture with Marlo holding a peach, the reads from Nene? But in actuality, that clip said so much about how Nene actually values Marlo, right? And Nene had the network's ears for years. I think that Nene was fine with Marlo staying in her place and kind of being her shield. With Marlo there, Nene didn't have to do the work of going after people. Marlo would do it for her, whether Nene asked her to do it or not. Marlo was there for that part, and Nene didn't necessarily have to share any of the celebrity or any of the peach holder status with Marlo to get that from her. Under normal circumstances, a person would completely cut themselves off from somebody who is trying not to get them work only as a plus one, work as a sidekick, but never the main character. But this is how Marlo felt about it. This is how Marlo saw it.
I will own it. I was riding for leaks. And I did because she put plenty of money in my pockets. My brother's funeral, she paid for everything for the dinner. No matter if she had her ways, she still showed me love. And maybe the way I was raised and upbringing, she cared. And maybe it's like a relationship that some of y'all are in. The man may not be 100% faithful, but he buy you that Birkin, he buy you that Chanel, he make you laugh. And no matter what, Nene still just had a good heart. It was times I was hurt by, I was angry. She did things to hurt me, but she did a lot of good too. Okay. I can't say Porsha ever fought for me to get a job. No, Marlo is coming. Okay. Marlo is getting this. She got me thousands, not hundreds, thousands. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna respect it. Okay.
Again, so much to pick apart just from that statement. It doesn't matter that Nene only views you as something small and to the side it can get you thousands. Because in her mind, well, Nene got me this money, so she must love me. I found out recently that my love language is acts of service. So that explains a lot about why I do the things that I do. But for Marlo, I think that her love language is gift receiving. So it doesn't matter if Nene rips you to shreds, talks to the network about keeping you just in that small capacity. She put thousands of dollars in your pocket, so you respect her. And even at the end of that, she mentioned that, it's like a bad relationship, but the guy buys you Birkins and makes you laugh. She still never mentions love. I hope that her life coach is seeing some of these things because it's really a sad, sad situation when your world is built up around things that people can do for you monetarily. And she has said over and over again,
you're a good person. Like, damn, send me a bucket of chicken wings. I mean, shit, when my brother passed, Nene took care of the whole damn funeral. And it's not even that. I didn't need you to do anything. I took care of everything for my family. It's
a talking point. It's the ability to say that somebody rich did something for me. And I don't even think she realizes that she's saying this in all of these interviews. There is a core issue there. And this was her explanation about Kandi, and listen to it closely.
If y'all can't understand, my nephew was killed 2 years ago that used to work for Kandi. I mean, my nephew used to work for you, dog. You weren't going to just say, Marlo, hey, can I reach out to the family? Can I send you some chicken wings? I love you, sis. I'm sorry. You didn't want to talk about it. You didn't acknowledge my nephew who loved your dirty draws, or your mamas, your Todd's. This boy got so many pictures with y'all in the kitchen, was so excited to be a chef. Girl,
What's sad is if Kandi had just sent like a spray of flowers, like when you see like flowers next to the casket, I don't think we would be having these conversations. And I don't think that Marlo even realizes that Kandi, telling her I'm sorry via text when Marlo told her, technically that's enough. You're wanting to be able to say that Kandi of the OLG did something for your nephew's funeral. And that has completely wiped out what work that you have had with Kandi. People grieve in different ways, and so it's a touchy subject, but I do think that's why Marlo is bringing this subject up, because people deal with grief in different ways, and it's very hard to combat grief with a logical viewpoint or a logical stance on things. So it's almost shrewd, the level of I'm trying to be careful here, because I don't want people grieve differently, but the way that Marlo has kind of like picked and choose specifically what Kandi did or did not do for her deceased nephew, it makes it hard to combat it. But unfortunately for Marlo, people aren't understanding, including her boss. Andy had this to say about Marlo in his book, and I thought it was super, super interesting. He said he thought Marlo did too much on season 14. She's walking around on the show with a pow, randomly firing at people. He actually pulled Marlo to the side to tell her this. The fans are not understanding completely what Marlo is trying to say as it relates to why Kandi is such a horrible person. It's falling flat. And I do think that it's actually destroying the show. This team up, I will say this again, to take Kandi down has failed at every attempt. And I don't know what else they need to do other than keep the central people and recast, because Marlo is not going to make sense. And I think that's her actual reality. I don't think that it's just for the sake of the show. I think that that whole gift giving, gift receiving response is fogging her eyes.
Gonna cry. I feel sometimes I'm mad at my best friend and my girlfriends because I feel they don't take on, like I want them on summers to say, hey Marlo, send the boys to me.
Right.
I thank
To
God
give you a
for
break.
I thank God for like my assistant and my manager and the people who do help with the boys. But I feel like
there are a million single mothers who do not have an actual village. You know what they do? They make it work. But Marlo, you do have a village. So all of this is Marlo's sister, who is her village, who will take the boys when need be. We've seen that happen last season. It almost is insulting to say that you need so many of your wealthy friends to come and pick up the boys. Well, did Nene? You're talking about Kandi, but Nene's your good sis. Has she picked up the boys? You're out here taking pictures with Tamar saying real friendship moments at this barbecue. Has she come and picked up your boys? You have your sister. You have your mom. You have a network of people. You don't need to say that celebrities are the ones, your celebrity friends need to come and pick up the boys. I think she even said Kandi sends cards with money to her nephews on her birthday, but she said that's not good enough. Kandi should be helping her get her record expunged. If you have followed this video, then I think you see what I'm saying. This is not an act from Marlo. This is Marlo truly angry at the fact that she's not getting what she feels she needs to receive to feel love from the cast members, people in her life. It's across the board. She's not just doing this with the cast of RHOA. Again,
gonna cry. I feel sometimes I'm mad at my best friend and my girlfriends because I feel they don't take on, like I want them on summers to say, hey Marlo, send the boys to me.
Right.
I think.
Do you think that Marlo does that for her friends? It's these expectations
that you want to do.
Why y'all always seem to ask so much of me that y'all don't give to me? This argument is bullshit to me.
Guys, tell me what you think in the comments. I know y'all are gonna heat up these comments because Marlo does have a fan base. Kandi has a fan base. I just have not seen where people have accurately told me what it is as to why they continuously try to take Kandi down. You guys can tell me because I haven't seen it. but I have seen numerous people try. So what is it? There's something there. Hit the like button, subscribe, and I'm going to see you guys next time.